Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has just delivered a performance that defies belief, and what's been revealed has left NASCAR observers across the country absolutely stunned. The veteran driver stands as one of the most controversial figures in Cup Series racing, making his recent explosive confrontation all the more shocking to witness. The revelation involves not only his catastrophic public threats against Carson Hocevar, but also the complete breakdown of professional conduct during NASCAR's historic Mexico City race, prompting the entire motorsports community to finally acknowledge this systematic failure after witnessing one of the most hostile driver altercations in recent memory. The context begins during the closing stages of the Viva Mexico 250, where Stenhouse was expected to compete professionally despite previous tensions with Hocevar, but instead delivered shocking aggression following another racing incident. The veteran driver recently faced the reality of being spun out by Carson Hocevar with only 10 laps remaining and announced his intention to physically confront the younger driver when they returned to American soil. This inflammatory threat escalated consequences, particularly when Stenhouse approached Hocevar while he sat in his car and made his anger known directly through aggressive verbal confrontation. The NASCAR world has been following the Stenhouse-Hocevar rivalry for an extended period, recognizing what their escalating tensions represent for professional driver conduct and competitive sportsmanship. Stenhouse finished 27th, while Hocevar crossed the line 34th, both affected by the late race incident, raising fundamental questions about veteran leadership. Who exactly threatens physical violence against younger competitors during NASCAR's most prestigious international race? The organization wants to ensure fans understand that professional racing requires mature conflict resolution through official channels, rather than personal retaliation threats. The confrontation situation provides crucial context because Stenhouse's aggressive response cannot be viewed as simple competitive frustration or a momentary emotional outburst. Stenhouse serves as a veteran driver expected to demonstrate professional leadership, implementing mature conflict resolution alongside appropriate competitive conduct rather than threatening physical violence against less experienced competitors. The veteran designed his approach to encompass direct verbal confrontation, public intimidation tactics, and promised retaliation that undermines NASCAR's professional standards and international reputation. Stenhouse recently revealed his complete loss of professional composure in a particularly shocking pit road confrontation that exposed his systematic anger management failure. "I'm going to beat your ass." "You're a lap down. You've got nothing to do." "Why did you run into me for the second time?" "I don't give a damn. I'll beat your A. I will when we get back to the States." This comprehensive threat exposes Stenhouse's systematic approach: escalate verbal aggression, issue specific physical threats, and promise future retaliation to justify intimidation tactics, ultimately demonstrating that veteran status doesn't guarantee mature professional conduct during high-pressure competitive situations. The historical context amplifies the irony of Stenhouse's aggressive response given his own controversial racing history. Many fans pointed out Stenhouse's own history of racing incidents, reminding the veteran of the Wrecky moniker attached to him early in his career. Jack Roush once benched a young Stenhouse in the Xfinity Series because of frequent wrecks, creating parallel circumstances that make his current criticism particularly hypocritical. The fan reaction demonstrates widespread recognition of Stenhouse's contradictory position regarding racing incidents and driver accountability. Ricky, stop before I be mean and remind you of your past," one fan commented, highlighting the veteran's selective memory regarding his own controversial racing history. "Pot calling the kettle black. It'd be funny if it weren't so Ricky-like," another observer noted. The incident timeline reveals escalating tensions that began weeks before the Mexico City confrontation. 2 weeks after Carson Hocevar tagged Ricky Stenhouse and sent him spinning at Nashville Superspeedway, the two crossed paths again, with Stenhouse clearly harboring unresolved anger from the previous incident despite having time to process and respond appropriately. The Nashville background context reveals Stenhouse's systematic approach to holding grudges rather than resolving professional conflicts. "I've been in this sport a long time, and if you make a mistake like that, you generally pick up the phone as quick as you can," Stenhouse explained. "I've not gotten a call from him, so to my point, he doesn't really care about it." The Mexico City incident details reveal the severity of Stenhouse's unprofessional conduct during NASCAR's International Showcase. Stenhouse stuck his head inside Hocevar's car while the younger driver remained seated, creating an intimidating confrontation that was picked up on in-car cameras and broadcast internationally. The recorded conversation demonstrates Stenhouse's complete loss of professional composure during the confrontation. When Hocevar acknowledged his mistake by saying, "I washed up" and "I effed up," Stenhouse continued escalating aggression rather than accepting the admission of fault and moving toward resolution. The playoff implications add urgency to both drivers' situations that makes the confrontation particularly damaging. For Stenhouse, the disappointing finish puts him 61 points adrift of the postseason cut line, while Hocevar is now separated from a playoff spot by 60 points, creating desperate circumstances where every position matters significantly. The real estate success provides a fascinating contrast to Stenhouse's on-track struggles and professional conduct issues. According to the Wall Street Journal, Stenhouse sold his roughly 140-acre equestrian estate near Charlotte for $12.2 million, more than triple what he paid 12 years ago. The massive home was originally listed for nearly $16 million in 2022. The financial windfall creates an ironic juxtaposition between Stenhouse's business acumen and professional racing conduct. While he demonstrates a sophisticated real estate investment strategy that generated millions in profit, his on-track behavior suggests significant maturity deficits in competitive situations. The international embarrassment factor amplifies the severity of Stenhouse's unprofessional conduct during NASCAR's historic Mexico City race. This incident occurred during NASCAR's first international points-paying race since 1958, making Stenhouse's aggressive behavior particularly damaging to the sport's global reputation and professional image. The missed opportunity for leadership demonstrates how veteran drivers should handle competitive conflicts with younger competitors. Instead of using the incident as a teaching moment or demonstrating professional conflict resolution, Stenhouse chose intimidation and retaliation threats that undermine NASCAR's professional standards. The future implications extend beyond individual driver relationships to broader questions about NASCAR's enforcement of professional conduct standards. NASCAR officials and fans will be keeping close watch on both drivers as the series returns to American tracks, where Stenhouse has promised to escalate the confrontation. The competitive context reveals how personal animosity can overshadow racing performance and championship aspirations. Both drivers face significant playoff pressure that requires focus on competitive excellence, rather than personal vendettas that distract from on-track performance. The veteran responsibility expectations create additional criticism for Stenhouse's unprofessional conduct. As an experienced Cup Series driver, he should demonstrate leadership and mentorship for younger competitors, rather than escalating conflicts through intimidation and retaliation threats. The social media reaction demonstrates widespread fan disappointment with Stenhouse's behavior and recognition of the hypocrisy given his own controversial racing history. Comments like, "Stenhouse knows Mexican jails suck, I'd guess," highlight fan awareness of the international setting's legal implications. The organizational image damage extends beyond individual driver reputations to NASCAR's professional standards and international credibility. Stenhouse's aggressive confrontation during the sport's historic International Showcase undermines years of effort to establish NASCAR as a globally respected racing series. The conflict resolution failure represents a missed opportunity for both drivers to demonstrate professional maturity and competitive sportsmanship that younger fans could emulate and respect. The upcoming race implications create continued tension as both drivers return to American tracks, where Stenhouse has explicitly threatened to escalate the confrontation, potentially creating safety concerns and continued professional conduct violations. Should NASCAR intervene before this feud spins out of control, or let the drivers settle it on the track? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more updates.